positive potato. So you could call this series positive potato, proactive potato, whatever you want. I don't really mind, but it's about positivity. I'm trying to spin a bit more positiveness because there's so much positivity I have with my learners. And I think, as Deeble pointed out before, I think videos can sometimes come across like we're always just looking for the errors in people's driving, and we can spin that into a slightly different direction. So this is a driving lesson I had a couple of weeks ago with a girl called Rosie, and Rosie's given us permission to use the audio from that video. Now we're doing a roundabout here, and we've got a vehicle behind us, and do you notice yourself anything about that vehicle? It may not be as clear on camera, of course. Good, well done, lovely. Really nice. Wonderful. Car close though, so yeah, give it a bit more.
Yeah.
That's it, well done. What do you notice about the car behind?
It's still got one headlight.
Ah, I like it. 40 here, just remember, car's wrong. Interesting. Does that make you think about anything?
That maybe if it's like things not working on it, then...
I like, yeah, so there could be other things not working on it, couldn't it? What does it tell you potentially? Not saying that this is, but potentially about the attitude of someone that's driving around.
Yeah, so more like reckless.
Ah, yeah. Do you know what? It's what gets my attention. I'm like,
yeah,
that's interesting. It doesn't mean, yeah, of course it doesn't. You could have a very, very sensible person, but yeah, it just gets my attention. It's that presence of the abnormal.
Yeah.
You think, that's interesting. I'll just keep half an eye on that. It's a young lad, isn't it? And then he's suddenly quite close up behind you. So that's now starting to kind of ring a bit more true of what we were thinking there, isn't it? So what we can see there is, if you're a driving instructor, this is the sort of conversations that are so valuable to have with your pupil, because they get such limited time with an approved driving instructor. They'll pass the test and then they're on the road for the next 60 odd years, you know, without any further help in some cases. I know a lot of us in the forces are watching, or ex-forces, and we have a massive saying in the military, which is the presence of the abnormal and the absence of the normal. And what it does is it just gets you thinking. So that's what we've done with Rosie, is we've noticed that this person has a headlight out. And I must say, because it was put in the clip as well, but that doesn't mean we think this person is a bad person, but it just gets us curious. And this is about proactiveness. There's too many reactive drivers on our road. So Rosie's identified that there could be other things not working on the vehicle, maybe some indicators, etc. And actually it could be a sign that this person has a bit of an attitude, a bad attitude, doesn't take enough care of their vehicle, for example. Then the vehicle gets quite close. So that's now ringing a bit more true to what we've been saying. Now, one way on driving lessons, we want to essentially intervene as little as possible with our learners driving, and we can learn a lot from mistakes, but we've always got to control the risk. So as we approach this roundabout, you hear me say this to my learner. Good, yeah. Can you beat that car, or are you stopping? Should we stop? Let's go first gear. Take time, you got it.
Yeah.
Can you beat that car, or should you stop? I need to know what's in my learner's head. Now, my learner goes to go, so, oh no, let's stop. And then, as a learner, it can take us a little bit of time to then just get going if we've had to stop. And I think most people following a learner understand that. This is the benefit now to this new camera that I've got, just by the way. I can show you exactly what I'm seeing at this junction. And like now, I can show you to the left, I've not gone because there was someone in my view there. Unlike before, we've had only the front and rear dash cam, you couldn't see what was to the sides, whereas now you can. This is my new toy and I'm so excited. So what that showed you is that this lorry was not in my view as I emerged. So if that lorry did what the one before did and tailgated me now, I can show you that actually I did everything right. So anyway, yeah, the way we control the risk is we get inside the learner's head, and when she's deciding that she thinks she can go, I just quickly intervene and we go from there. That then becomes the learning point of the lesson, of course, of where we would go next. But what happens here is you can see the person behind starts to now beat their horn. So that's now very consistent with what we've already identified
that actually this person could have a bit of a bad attitude. So it's not really a surprise, if you like.
Happy with that?
Yeah.
Good, yeah. Beat me. Just watch him because he'll overtake you now. Yeah, see that? Really dangerous, yeah? Really dangerous. When we exit a roundabout, we're in the left lane.
Yeah.
That's why we check the right mirror. Because we get someone on our right who just decides to be silly. So, do you remember we saw the headlight and we instantly, we were just like, oh, that's interesting about this person. And lo and behold, as soon as you just take a little bit longer,
literally.
You've got L plates on, you take a little bit longer at the roundabout, beep of the horn.
Then as we move forward, despite the fact we've moved on to the roundabout now, this person decides to use the left lane, move into the right lane, and overtake us at the point where we're about to exit. And it's a very silly move. I certainly wouldn't do that. And they gain nothing from it as well. That's the other thing. They gain absolutely nothing from it. And genuinely, this is where I think some people's attitudes play. And if you think there was a police officer watching that and they would just let that slide and not pull over the black car, I think you've got another thing coming. They would absolutely pull him in for a chat there. But the positive thing I want to spin from this is really just the proactiveness. The proactiveness to look and go, oh, look, that's something unusual about that vehicle. Can that tell us more? In this case, it did. It absolutely highlighted to us what eventually happened. And again, these are the conversations to have with learners. And if you're not doing this sort of thing, is it something you could build into your driving? In the winter, a massive one that me and my learners look for is people that don't clean their number plates, people that don't clean their lights at the rear of the car, people that don't clean the back windscreen. So you can see like my back windscreen at the moment, a tiny bit dirty, right? I'm not on about people like that because that's normal road use and I can still see through the entire windscreen. What I'm on about is people in the winter that don't clean their car off and they end up with the tiny slither that they can see through. That's a sign of an attitude issue. I have stuff in my car always that I can clean stuff off because I need to be able to see clearly. But yeah, the presence of the abnormal, the absence of the normal. Do you yourselves notice things like that about other road users? Or are you just in your own little world, reactive driving, not doing any proactiveness? Let me know if you've got any examples of things that you've noticed about someone and then it's turned out to be absolutely correct. It'd be great to hear if you've got examples. My email's on the screen. It's on my the first page of my page of my channel. Do feel free to send examples in so we can look at things that you've done really well. Have a blessed day. Enjoy. I want to be open to parking limit in that number. It's little tiny things like that that you can notice. The person in front, a very small flash on the brake lights with absolutely nothing in front of them. That gets the old curiosity. Well, that's not normal. What are they braking for? And then, of course, a late signal, brake lights, and they take the turn. So they were looking for somewhere. And again, by keeping distance and just noticing that and going, oh, what's that? Be curious. Get curious in your driving if you're not. There'll be plenty of you that are, of course, because I know, as I said before, I know how experienced a lot of you are.